Carherine the Great, born in 1729 in Stettin, Prussia, as Sophie Friederike Augusta von Anhalt-Zerbst, was destined for a life far beyond the confines of her modest beginnings. Her early years were marked by a strict upbringing, influenced by her mother, a German princess, who instilled in her a sense of ambition and the importance of education. Little did anyone know that this young girl would grow to become one of the most powerful and influential rulers in history, transforming the Russian Empire and leaving an indelible mark on the world. At the tender age of 15, Sophie was chosen to marry the heir to the Russian throne, Grand Duke Peter, a man whose temperament was as volatile as the winds of the Baltic Sea. The marriage was not one of love, but rather a strategic alliance designed to strengthen ties between Russia and Germany. Upon her arrival in Russia, Sophie embraced her new identity, converting to the Russian Orthodox Church and adopting the name Carherine. Yet her marriage was fraught with difficulties. Peter was immature and disinterested in his duties, often preferring to indulge in childish games and military pretensions. Carherine, on the other hand, was intelligent, politically astute, and eager to learn about her new country. As she navigated the treacherous waters of the Russian court, Carherine began to cultivate relationships with influential figures, understanding the importance of alliances in a world where power was often fleeting. Her marriage to Peter became increasingly strained, and by the time she turned 20, Carherine had already begun to explore the possibility of a coup. The discontent with Peter's rule was palpable among the nobility, who found his behavior unbecoming of a future Tsar. Catherine's keen sense of timing and her ability to read the political landscape would soon set the stage for her rise to power. In 1762, following Peter's ascension to the throne, Carherine saw her opportunity. The new emperor was unpopular, and his policies alienated many of the aristocrats who had once supported him. Just months into his reign, Peter's erratic behavior and disregard for the Russian Orthodox Church led to a growing discontent. Carherine, with the support of key military leaders and nobles, orchestrated a coup d'état. On June 28, 1662, Peter was arrested and Carherine was proclaimed Empress of Russia. The audacity of her actions shocked many, but her determination to lead was unwavering. Catherine's reign marked a significant turning point in Russian history. She was not merely a ruler, but a reformer who sought to modernize the empire. Inspired by the Enlightenment ideals that swept through Europe, she implemented a series of progressive reforms aimed at improving the governance of her vast territory. She established a new legal code, reformed the provincial administration, and promoted education and the arts. Carherine believed that a well-educated populace was essential for the advancement of the state, and she founded schools and institutions to promote learning. One of her most ambitious projects was the establishment of the Legislative Commission in 1767, where she invited representatives from various social classes to discuss and propose reforms. This was a groundbreaking move, as it was one of the first attempts to involve the nobility and the common people in the governance of the empire. Although the commission ultimately failed to produce a new constitution, it showcased Catherine's commitment to reform and her willingness to engage with her subjects. Carherine was also a patron of the arts and literature, surrounding herself with the leading intellectuals of her time. Her correspondence with Voltaire and Diderot revealed her deep admiration for Enlightenment philosophy. She invited these thinkers to her court, fostering an environment that celebrated creativity and innovation. Under her patronage, the Russian cultural landscape flourished, with advancements in literature, theater, and the visual arts. Carherine herself was an accomplished writer, penning memoirs and essays that reflected her thoughts on governance, philosophy, and the role of women in society. However, Catherine's reign was not without its challenges. The vastness of the Russian Empire presented logistical difficulties, and the diverse population posed a constant challenge to her authority. The Pugachev Rebellion in 1773 was a stark reminder of the discontent simmering among the peasantry. Emelian Pugachev, a pretender to the throne, capitalized on the grievances of serfs and Cossacks. Claiming to be Peter III returned from the dead. The rebellion spread rapidly, fueled by anger over serfdom and oppressive policies. Carherine responded with a mix of military force and strategic concessions, ultimately quelling the uprising, but at a great cost. The rebellion highlighted the deep-seated issues within Russian society and forced Catherine to reconsider her approach to governance. Despite these challenges, Catherine continued to expand the empire through military conquests and strategic diplomacy. The Russo-Turkish Wars of the late 18th century were pivotal in solidifying Russia's status as a major European power. Catherine's military campaigns against the Ottoman Empire resulted in significant territorial gains, including the Crimea, which she famously referred to as the jewel of the empire. Her expansionist policies not only increased Russia's wealth and resources, but also secured her legacy as a formidable ruler. Catherine's personal life was as complex as her political career. Her marriage to Peter had been a disaster, and after his death she took several lovers, most notably Grigory Potemkin, a military leader and statesman. Their relationship was both romantic and political, with Potemkin playing a crucial role in Catherine's military campaigns and reforms. Their partnership was characterized by mutual respect and admiration, and together they orchestrated some of the most significant developments in the empire. Potemkin's influence extended beyond the personal. He was instrumental in the administration of newly acquired territories and the establishment of new cities, such as the grand city of Sevastopol. As Catherine aged, she became increasingly aware of her legacy. She had successfully navigated the complexities of power, but she also understood that her reign would be judged by the stability and prosperity of the empire she governed. In her later years, she focused on consolidating her achievements and ensuring a smooth succession. Her only son, Paul, was a source of concern. He was seen as unstable and unfit to rule. Catherine's relationship with him was fraught with tension, and she sought to groom her grandson, Alexander, as a potential successor. This decision would have lasting implications for the future of the Russian Empire. Catherine's death in 1796 marked the end of an era. She passed away in her beloved palace at Tsarskoye Selo, leaving behind a legacy that would be celebrated and scrutinized for centuries to come. Her reign transformed Russia into a modern European power, and her commitment to reform and cultural advancement laid the groundwork for future generations. Carherine the Great's life was a testament to the power of ambition, intelligence, and resilience. She defied the odds, rising from a foreign princess to become one of the most iconic figures in history, a ruler who shaped the destiny of a nation and inspired countless others to follow in her footsteps. In the years following her death, historians and scholars would grapple with Catherine's legacy. Some would laud her as a champion of the Enlightenment, a ruler who sought to elevate her people and modernize her empire. Others would criticize her for her reliance on serfdom and her often ruthless methods of maintaining power. The complexities of her character and reign would continue to spark debate, but what remained undeniable was her impact on Russia and the world. Carherine the Great was a woman of her time, navigating the intricacies of court politics, military strategy, and cultural patronage. Her story is one of triumph and tragedy, ambition and introspection, a narrative that reflects the tumultuous history of an empire on the brink of transformation. Through her life and reign, Catherine not only reshaped Russia, but also challenged the very notion of what it meant to be a ruler, leaving a legacy that would resonate through the ages.